Welcome everyone, and thanks so much for joining us today for another one of our webinars. Today is all going to be about our email builder tool for ticket events. We're going to share some really great updates and upgrades that we have in email builder that's going to be super essential and helpful when we're building these ticket events. Your speakers today, as always, we have Steve Bingham Hawk, who is a product manager here with GiveSignup, and then we also have a senior account manager, Elizabeth De La Rova, and these two are a dynamic duo that are always going to be with you guys. So I'm sure you guys recognize them. If not, you will get to know them today. So before we jump in and I hand over the control to our presenters, I'm just going to go through a few housekeeping items for today's webinar. So we are using the GoToWebinar tool. And if you do have the ability to minimize or maximize your control panel using the arrow button in the upper left corner. If you have any questions that you want to submit, you do it through the question pane on the control panel. If for any reason your question does not get answered, don't worry, we're going to get somebody to follow up with you. But we usually are pretty good at the end of following up with questions throughout. So don't feel like you won't get your question answered. And then the recorded webinar will be shared with all of our registrants within 24 to 48 hours after the webinar, and we will also include the slides. And then, let's see, don't forget that you're also going to have the opportunity to schedule a one-on-one workshop with one of these two great people here on the webinar today, and I will send some more details on that in the follow-up email, so stay tuned. And with that, I pass over to Steve and Elizabeth.
Thanks, Daniela. Hey, everybody. Happy to be back with you all. This is exciting because we've been doing some webinars about email and specifically about ticketed events. But since then, we have released our email builder tool. So if anybody tuned in on Monday to Brian Jenkins, who went over our email builder for registration events, this is going to be a little bit of a review of that, but then framing the email builder tool and just our email tool in general for our ticketed events. So I know we're really excited about it because it just makes creating emails so much easier, quicker, and more professional, more beautiful, really making sure that you guys are having more tools to get folks to join your events, sign up for your events, and of course, raise more and support your mission and cause. So first, what we're gonna cover today is who we are as a company. We'll go over an overview of what our next gen email marketing is, talk about how to manage contacts, and then go through email builder. So you can actually see the tool in its real state as we create an email with you. And then we'll talk about what's next coming up. All right, so first, we are event technology experts. That's what we specialize in, is events, creating tools that will help folks really get the most out of their events. So our mission, making it free and easy for small businesses and nonprofits to generate more revenue, grow their events, and engage their attendees. And we create free and easy to use event software that you can fully control. And I think that's really an important differentiator for us, our company, and for all of our customers, is that you don't have to wait on somebody to support you in order to create it, your event, your ticketed event, your emails, your website with us. And so that really gives you full control, customization, flexibility, and really make it your own. And with our platform, $1.4 billion we've helped customers raise, and 26,000 events are using our platform. So if you already have an event with us, you're part of a really big network of folks doing a lot of great things in the world. And if you haven't already, you're about to become part of this massive community of people supporting each other. All right, so next gen email marketing. We're gonna go and do just an overview of what our free email marketing tool is. How do you access it from your dashboard? How do you configure your email settings? We have 2 different email accounts that we'll go over that helps to make sure that emails get to your folks. And then managing unsubscribes, which is just part of email, right? So we'll get started then and talk about the overview. And so, first of all, you can send unlimited emails. So there's no worries like some of us have experienced with other platforms where you're worried about how many you can send a month. And then to my second point, uploading unlimited contacts. There's, first of all, we're free. So there's actually no subscription cost, but with other platforms, you start at a subscription cost and you keep going up as you add to your database. There's no worries here with our platform. You're not going to pay anything for this. So, upload, I think it's about 100,000, right, Elizabeth, per upload of
Yeah,
contacts. So
up to
you can
100,000.
up to 100,000. So you can upload to your heart's content and build that database, and your fee is still $0. You're going to be able to create emails automatically from event and donor contact lists. So you can upload custom lists with your own custom data, or you can use default lists that are generated from folks that are buying tickets on your GiveSignup, RunSignup, and TicketSignup website. And you can create beautiful emails with our templates and email builder. That's going to be our focus today. And then, which is, I think, another differentiator for us, which is personalizing email with custom data replacement tags. So you can look like you stayed up all night creating emails for every single person that's coming to your event when actually it only took a few seconds to insert what ticket they purchased, what store items they added on, what day they're going to be attending your event. These are all pieces. And then when you upload custom lists, you can bring in data from them for the past 10 years. They're going to feel so special because they know that you know them intimately and that you value the relationship that they have with your organization. And then coming soon is going to be automated emails. They'll be part of our email system. So next one, email builder tool. So we're going to go just an overview of what this new tool is, what types of emails you can use it for, and then just the tool in general and some updates. All right, so types of emails. Promotional emails. Think about, these are your invites to ask folks to come to your ticketed event. You can send to all of your contacts on the platform, as well as custom contacts that you've uploaded. And then you can include those custom tags. So for example, if I've got a database of the last 5 years of folks that have attended my gala, I can insert from that custom list how many years they have been a part of the event. So you're like, wow, you knew that I was been there the last 3 years? That's awesome, right? They're gonna feel very special and valued. And then it's going to make transition to ticket signup easy. So if you didn't see, ticketsignup.io is our newest product that we just launched, which is really going to be geared towards our small business customers. And then event day emails, so including QR codes for quick check-in. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go on your app store, download the ticket check-in app, and you can see when you build your ticket event, which is part of my homework for you today, you can actually put in some manual tickets and then send yourself some emails, include those QR codes and see how fast it is. Imagine yourself sitting at a table, folks present their QR code, literally 1 second they're checked in. So quick and easy. And then manage your tickets link and then putting in your purchase info. So these are all things that you can put in as sort of a pre-event email to all of your ticket purchasers or ticket holders to prep them for a really easy check-in process, and to make sure that they're not worried about any of the details. You've got their back, they know what to expect. They're gonna have a great experience at your event. All right, so accessing next-gen email, the way you're gonna do that is from your dashboard. And so if you look down here on the right with that screenshot, it says email, and then all of the options that you can customize are underneath there. So sending email, that's where you're gonna actually use the new email builder tool that creates professional and personalized emails. And then custom lists, this is when you're gonna import those lists of your past attendees or past donors. Templates, you can create templates so that you can save them and use them later. So that's great when you're working in teams and folks are accessing your ticketed event and sending emails over many months with different folks doing it. Ensure that your branding and messaging is consistent. And then sent emails, you can review what you've actually already sent out, what is scheduled, and any drafts. That's where they're being housed right now. We will have an update soon that will show the drafts that you've started and saved and haven't sent yet. But for now, they're going to exist under sent emails. And then under reports, that's where you can track success to see how many folks opened your email, so total clicks, and then as well as custom clicks, or sorry, unique clicks. So you can see exactly how many users were actually opening versus how many times somebody opened, like all of them aggregate, right? And then under settings, you can configure the send reply to an email account type. So we're going to get into that in just a minute. So we'll go into more detail on that. And here we are, email settings. So under transaction email.
That was so smooth, Steve.
Thank you. I practiced that one. So transactional emails are ones that you're going to be sending to folks that are already signed up for your event. They bought a ticket and they are looking for specific information about your event. It's not where you're inviting folks. You're not going to be using this designation for general things about upcoming events. All those promotional marketing pieces will fall under, funnily enough, under marketing and promotional emails. The importance of this distinction. Why is it important that we've got these two accounts for you? So some folks, maybe they're just in that mood that one day, and they feel like, oh, I just got too many of these promotional emails about all the upcoming events, and they may unsubscribe from that. But they don't realize, a lot of folks, they mistakenly, when they unsubscribe, don't realize that they're unsubscribing from those transactional emails where you're trying to give them information about the event that they do want to go to. They do want that information. So in this case, all right, great. You don't want to hear about other opportunities coming up, no problem, but we want to make sure that you are completely prepared and ready to go for the event that you're attending this Saturday. So that's when it would be under that transactional email, and they would not be unsubscribed from that. And you can run reports by types to see who unsubscribed from the marketing and promotional and who unsubscribed from the transactional. All right, and then managing. Here we are. See, it's so smooth. Managing unsubscribes. So this is just a nice screenshot to show you what I was just talking about. But there is on this screen that we haven't touched on yet, which is resubscribing folks. So maybe folks did not mean to, and they're like, I didn't know about this, the next your walk that you're having in October. How did I miss that? Well, you unsubscribed. Oh, I didn't mean to. Great. Well, this is where you can fix that for them. But of course, please keep in mind email laws, general etiquette, and professionalism, so that you're not resubscribing people without permission. I think it's always best to, have some sort of written transaction, like an email from somebody asking for that unsubscribe, so that you can always track that back in case there was ever a question about the emails that they get. So, it's just being, I think, respectful for folks, in that way the right information is getting to them at the right time.
Okay, now we're going to talk about managing your email contacts. So Steve mentioned at the beginning when we were going through the agenda that we were going to talk about this. So we're going to talk through our default list that we offer on the ticket platform, how to upload custom lists and what that looks like, how the replacement tags work that we offer, and then we actually aren't going to talk about this participant report export to email today because it's not available in tickets yet, so there's nothing really interesting to show yet. But that's coming in a future update. So this default list screen is showing the ticket dashboard for the Spring Gala event. And what you'll see here is that we have the current ticket purchasers and then the tickets for each group showing as a default list. So you don't have to worry about creating your own list of the people who have signed up for this year's event or last year's event. It will pull in automatically for you. So if you're just trying to send out an email to everyone who signed up for this year, all you have to do is include that list. So these default lists are really convenient for that kind of a thing. And for a lot of events, that's all you may need. If you're not needing to email out to any of your custom lists, you can just use our default lists to email, event updates or the day of email, whatever you need to communicate to your ticket purchasers. So you'll notice that it's by ticket group. So that's how we organize tickets on our platform. So you can email out to just one ticket group if you want to just reach those people. So the classic example for that is a multi-day event. So you just want to email your Saturday people, and then you're going to create a separate email for your Sunday people, maybe at a later date, or maybe you want to schedule both emails, but you're only emailing out the Saturday information to the Saturday people and the Sunday information to the Sunday people. You always want to keep your stuff as relevant as possible, and we make it really easy to do those multiple emails. So you're not doesn't feel like you're wasting a lot of time creating multiple emails. You can be specific and relevant. And you can also email your ticket holders. So that's an important distinction to make. And we talk about that in other areas of our platform, but something that you can do on our platform is require information from each ticket holder, in addition to the person buying the ticket. So if I'm buying tickets for me and Steve, if the event's requiring Steve's information, and I've given them his email when I signed him up, when I made the purchase, then sending out an email to this ticket holders list will reach both me and Steve because I've given Steve's email to the event. So here's where you can search for your default list. So if you have a lot, say if you have a month-long ticket event with a ticket group for each day, it makes it really nice to be able to search the list to find the right recipients. And you'll notice the dashboard location down here, it's under send email. So this is when you're creating your email. It's when you're selecting your recipients. It's the very first step. Another thing to point out here, actually, I don't think we have a bullet point, but you can add a single contact or like a few one-off contacts. So say you want to email all your Saturday people, but you also want to add in maybe 3 or 4 other people, or you want to, like, I don't know, CC your volunteers so that they see the email that the ticket holders got. You're able to just add people into your email as well if you're using these default lists. Okay, there's a lot going on here, so I'll talk you through it. Let's start with the basics. So a replacement tag, in the way that we refer to it, so across our platform, is a tag like first name or event. This would be probably your ticket group title. And this is something that has data associated with it in our database, in your dashboard, that you can use to make your email specific and relevant, like I mentioned earlier. So classic example is the first name. So I can send out an email that says hello and then put in this first name replacement tag so that each person who receives the email gets it customized to their first name that they gave when they signed up. So I could say, hello, Steve, and then Steve's email will say, hello, Steve. Mine would say, hello, Elizabeth, and so on. So that's how the replacement tags work on our platform, and we have a ton of them. So that's a simple one. But if you'll notice over here, we have all these categories for replacement tags, so things like contact information, details, QR codes, participant details. So different things that you can insert into your email so that everybody gets their own unique link, or sees their own QR code for check-in. That's another classic example for a ticket event. So you're able to insert those and make it customized and relevant to each person. You can also create custom tags, and we're going to talk about custom lists in a second. But when you insert additional data into the CSV that you're going to use to create your custom list, you can create a custom replacement tag as you're importing it into our platform. So an example like the one here is years participated. So if you're using us for your ticket event for the first time this year, but you have a lot of information about how many years somebody participated in your event when you were on your previous platform, you could put in, 3 years participated. And that way, when you email them out, you can say something like, thanks for coming to our event for replacement tag of number of years they've come. So if I've come for 3 years, it would say, thanks for coming for 3 years. And if Steve's only come for 2 years, it'll say, thanks for coming for 2 years. So again, keeping it specific to the person receiving the email. So you can create these tags for literally almost anything you can think of that would be important data to you that you might want to include in an email. So I'll show you what the custom lists, what they look like. So here's how you would manually add your contacts. There's 2 ways to create these custom lists. You will go into your email custom lists tab in your dashboard, and the dashboard location's down here once again. You're going to enter the name of your custom list. So that's up here where it says contact list name. So I would just enter, Elizabeth's list for, whatever today is, February 17th email. If I'm just creating a list that I want to send out an email today to that list. So you name your list whatever you want, and then you can enter contacts either individually, like in this example in this screenshot. So I'm just adding info@runsignup.com. that email address. So say I just want to test out an email to just myself, I could just create a custom list with just my email and send the email to myself so that I can see what it will look like. Or you can do, and this is the more common way to do it, a CSV upload. So if you have a bunch of email addresses and data, either from another platform or from Excel, like wherever you're kind of storing that information, you can upload the CSV of that. And like I mentioned on the last slide, you can also create those replacement tags at that point. And as Steve has already said, you can add any number of contacts. It's unlimited number of contacts that we can store for you. The actual upload is limited at 100,000 or just under 100,000. So if you do have that many and you're trying to upload them all, you would want to split that up into batches. But we can store any number of contacts for you.
And Elizabeth, unlimited data replacement tags in those.
That too. So if you also have 100,000 pieces of data that you want to create replacement tags for, that'll be a pretty big CSV, but technically you can do it.
Exactly.
I haven't seen anyone try that yet, but I think it would work. Okay, so this is what I was just talking about. You can upload unlimited custom contacts. So here's some sample data over here, how you would kind of format that CSV. It's pretty smart, the uploader. So if you have your columns kind of rearranged from how we have them here, you can actually associate them with the right column so you won't mess it up too badly. So you can do things like put in a column for donations and create the replacement tag for last year's donation amount. That's another good example of how you use it on a ticket event. And so here's just showing what that CSV uploader looks like. So you just drag and drop or choose your CSV from your computer. Okay, more on replacement tags. This is what it looks like to create those custom ones. So you can see here I'm creating what tag I want to use for it. So when I'm actually entering this in my email, I would just put the % and then event and then percent. But for now, I'm just creating what I want the actual text of that placeholder tag to say. So that's why it just says event donation, and it reminds you not to include the % symbols because it'll get thrown off if you try to do that. So you can customize these to be more intuitive is the main point here, and then use that to personalize your emails. Now we're going to move on to the email builder. So this is kind of like the new thing that Steve and I haven't talked about yet on any of these email webinars that we've done because it just got added to tickets. So we're going to show you what it looks like, and then I'll actually do a quick demo of what it will look like to actually create and send an email using the email builder. So you have a few options with this as far as how to get started. So you'll go into your send email tab. That part, we've already discussed. But when you get to creating your email, the first thing you're going to do is select how you want to start. So you can use one of these system templates. I'll explain that term in a second. Or you can use any of your saved templates. Saved templates, I will actually be showing one in the demo a little bit later. But that's any template that you've already created that you might want to be using for multiple emails over and over again. So you've created this template for event invites, and you're just going to use that template every time you're sending out an event invite to different lists or for different events. However you're kind of using it is up to you, but these saved templates are going to be really convenient for things like that, and I'll show you how they look when we get into the demo. The system templates, you have 3 options. So we have a very basic template. So if you really don't want to put a lot of time into this, you're just trying to send out a quick email, you can use the basic template and it still looks really nice. It's formatted so that it will look nice in every email client. And it'll just give you like one button so you can link people to the sign up page or donate or wherever you want to send them. And you can just enter your information, send out an email. You can also use your own HTML. So if you have your own HTML code, maybe from like MailChimp or another platform, or maybe you know HTML and you've created it yourself, and you just want to make your email look exactly like that, you can import your HTML using that option and then just create your email from there. So if you don't like using, our content blocks or whatever, or if you just have a template that works for you, You can just import your HTML every time you send an email, or you can create a template of it, which I'll show. And then the first option here is start from scratch. So this is using the email builder to drag your own content blocks and create your email from scratch. It will always look nice because we sort of force you to make it look nice. We won't let you go through until you've added at least one content block. And the content blocks, like I mentioned, are formatted so that they're going to look good in any email client. You can test how it's going to look on mobile. They're formatted for mobile as well. And you're going to be able to preview it once you get through creating it. So here's some benefits of using this for ticket events. Like I said, I'm going to show it in a second, but let's talk through the benefits first. So one major benefit is to differentiate your communications. So for example, if you have a simple one-day event, you're going to have a different sort of communication schedule and like communication needs than an advanced multi-day event. So the nice thing about this is that you can use those templates that I mentioned. You can use that those default lists if you're doing more advanced emailing, like if you're scheduling things days in advance, if you're having to, create a different email for each day of your event, if there's different information that people need to get. It's super easy to use the email builder for that because you can actually just create templates of what you need to send out and make little changes and schedule it so that it goes out automatically. You don't have to think about it. If you have a simple event, you might just want to send out, a couple emails before the event, and then maybe the night before or the day of, you send out people's QR codes. You don't really need a template for that, but you could create one if you wanted to. So it's really flexible and you can use it as much as you need to. You can insert information about things like store item purchases. You can put people's question responses into your emails, like leading up to the event so that they know, like, what dinner option they selected. So it's really helpful to make a nice looking email with that kind of like reminder information about things like that. And like I mentioned, you can use those templates to keep it consistent. So if you decide on like what your branding is for your event and you don't want to have to like reinvent the wheel every time you send out an email, you can use those templates to keep it consistent. So you always have your logo at the top, you have the same set of information. It always looks pretty much the same. So when people are getting an email from you, they're reminded of your event and your branding, and it's clean and easy for them to digest.
Elizabeth, I think another really cool part of inserting custom information like that, from your store purchases or the question responses, is that you can give an opportunity to your ticket purchasers and holders to review the information that they entered, or maybe a friend or family member entered, and maybe that XX is not the size that you wanted, or maybe the small doesn't fit as well these days. So you would have liked a medium t-shirt that was part of your store purchase. So that's a chance to then, you as the organizer, to tell them like, hey, does this look right? If you want to make a change, email us back and let us know. And then that's going to streamline and simplify and just make that check-in process so much easier, because that person that is going to be sitting there trying to check in wants to change their store purchase while there's 20 people behind them. Just reduce the possibility of that happening by giving them a heads up, like, this is what we've got in our records. Does it work for you? Let us know if there needs to be a change before you come and see us.
Exactly. And it keeps it relevant. Like I mentioned, like 4 times already.
It's important. Keep saying it.
Okay, let's create an email.
Yes.
I'm going to show on this block party event that I've been using for our website builder webinars, or I guess we've only done one website builder webinar. I actually haven't sent any emails from this event yet, so I turned on email this morning for it. So I'm going to send out my first email. But what I have done already is create a template. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So if you go to templates here, you'll see I have this one already created. What's nice about how this looks is that it actually takes a little, it's almost like it takes a picture of what your template looks like. So when you come back to this page, you can just see, if I had like, say, 20 templates on here, I might not remember exactly like what I called a certain one. But if I can see like, oh, this is that image that I used, then I'm going to recognize it and be like, oh, that's the one I want to use. So that's really nice. And I think it looks really, really cool how it actually just like takes a picture of it and shows it on this tile here for you. So you have a few options with these. You can click this to send an email using this template. You can edit your template, or you can copy it. So say, you know, I want to make a template for, well, this is an event update email. Say I want to do one for a marketing one, but I really like how I made this one look. I could actually copy this one and make some changes to it and save that as its own template. I can create a new one from here if I want to start from scratch. So I'm going to show you quickly what it looks like to create this template, and you'll see it's pretty much the same process as using the email builder to like start from scratch and create an email. But obviously for a template, you're going to want to keep it vague enough that you would be using this for multiple emails. So I don't really have any specific info in here. I kind of just have like placeholder stuff. You see I have some placeholder text here. This is where I would put in my information about the event day. I might update this button when I'm actually going to send this as an email, but for now I'm just linking to the event info page that I have on my website. Here I have a link to a parking map because maybe that's something that I'm always going to send out in these event updates. And then down here I have a side-by-side component, which I think looks really nice with an image next to like this reminder about referrals. And then this is going to link to where they can look up their confirmation email that has their referral link in it. So if somebody lost that or forgot that they had a referral link, they could use that to quickly go and look that up. So this is something that I want to always have in this event update email. So I have that in there. Down here, I have my additional info about the event or whatever I want to use this for. I'm about to send out an email using this template, and I think I'm going to use this to put in like my concert lineup for this block party or something. So I'll have this button go to the concert lineup. And then if I want to add any sections to this, since I'm in here editing it, if I want to like change my logo that I'm using for this, I would add some content block over here, or I could click add section to email and you'll see it has me pick 1 or 2 columns. And then I can pick which content block types I want to use in my email. I could change my theme color up here. And then if I want to preview what it will look like on desktop or mobile, I can do that. So I can kind of look at what it will look like. I like how those buttons look. And then if I want to see it on a phone screen, that also looks really nice. So you'll see it kind of stacks that side-by-side component. So that the image is above my referral reminder. I think that looks really good. And that's one of the ways that we always ensure that your email is going to look really nice on both mobile and a bigger screen like a desktop. Okay, I didn't make any changes to this.
You're probably going to get to this, but my favorite part is dragging and dropping. Can you show the home how to move sections around, because it's helpful and it looks cool?
I would love to show the viewers at home. That's a good idea. We'll add a section to this template and then we'll use it in the email that we're going to send. So I'm going to drag in this feature 1. Or no, I already used that. Let's do feature 2. Oh, I have to add a section to my email. You can tell I wasn't ready. He's just throwing things at me.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just love the drag and drop.
Well, I've added my section now. But you can drag where you want this. So say I want to do a reminder to donate. This is for a nonprofit, or maybe I have a charity partner with my block party or something. So I'm going to make this go to my donate page, which I don't have the URL to. So I'm actually just going to make it go to GiveSignup.org. Call it donate. But I really want this further up in my email template. Like I want this toward the top so that people see it. So I'm going to move it above the additional info, and you see I just dragged and dropped it up here. Now it's here. I can add more stuff if I want more stuff in that like component that I created. That section is what we call them. So maybe I want an image with it or something. I could do that. And then that would also be draggable. So let's add this image. It's fun. It doesn't have anything to do with donations, but we're going to take this out. But see how this is all part of the same section. So if I wanted to drag this even further up my email, like above the referrals, it would help if I had fine motor skills. But here we go. So now this whole section I moved up at once. So that's the benefit of adding stuff like within a section if you want it to all move as one component, if you're rearranging your emails or your templates. You can also use these arrow buttons if you do struggle with fine motor skills and you don't like to drag and drop. So sometimes I'll just do this and move up the whole section using those arrow buttons. So now it's all the way at the top. Okay, let's take this out because now with the image, it looks kind of weird. And we're gonna save, and I could change my template name, but I already have one, so I'm gonna keep that. Okay, what did I do? Oh, I added sections. That's why. See, this is what I'm talking about though, about how we won't let you save an email that looks bad because these buttons don't have links to anywhere, but we're not letting you move on until you save that. Okay, now we've moved on. See, it's Elizabeth proof. Okay, now we're gonna go to send email. Now remember, I'm not clicking from the template page to here, I'm just going to send email. So if I click on select recipients, I'm gonna email this to all my ticket purchasers. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna enter my subject line. I would probably use something a little more exciting than this. Steve would like use 17 exclamation points. I'm just gonna put event update for now, keep it neutral. Okay, if I click on create email, here I am where I showed this on the slide. So I have my system templates here, so I could start from scratch with the email builder, or I can use that template that I've created that I was just showing the drag and drop on. I'm gonna do that. So now I'm in the email editor using this template. So it looks really nice still, same template. I'm gonna edit some stuff on here. So I'm gonna say block party update because that's the name of this event. And this is going to my info page, that's fine. I can leave that. I'm gonna put in some information about the event. Check in at the gate. Up to 30 minutes before the event starts, something like that. I would probably put a lot more in here, but I can't type that fast on demand.
Let them know that parking has changed to your front yard, Elizabeth. That's the most important.
I don't have a front yard, Steve. I live in an apartment.
Right in front, on the street in front of your house. It just
you can park in front of my apartment building. 20-minute spots. So best of luck with that. Good luck. Okay. Use the QR code in your confirmation email. This is what I wanted to show, but Steve keeps getting me off track. So they all got a confirmation email when they signed up, and it has a QR code that's associated with their ticket purchase. This is what our check-in app will use if you're using the camera component in the check-in app to scan people in. It's that QR code that people got in their confirmation email. So that's another reason why you might want to point them to your page where they can look up that confirmation email ahead of time before they get to the event. It's a lot faster to scan them in with that than to have them like tell you their name and then they're like, oh wait, actually, but it's under this name, or you don't know how to spell their name. So if you can get everybody to show you their QR code by reminding them here in this event update email, you'll just make check-in a lot smoother, I promise. So I'm going to add in ticket purchase QR code. This is one of the default replacement tags that we give you, like I mentioned. So this isn't, I'm sending this to my ticket purchasers, so not a custom list. This is one of just our default generated QR code replacement tags for QR code. You can also add in, this is another cool one, manage tickets button. So this one will go to the link where they can manage their tickets. So that one might be another helpful thing to put in that's kind of an email. So you can say, if you don't have your confirmation email, go here. And I would probably always have both of those. If you're going to send out QR codes, you should also tell them how they can find that if they lost their email. Whatever, we'll leave it like that. It's not the prettiest thing ever, but that'll work. Good luck should probably be 2 words. I like my parking map, that works. I think I actually have this link to a parking map. And this is also good. Like I said, this is gonna actually go to the same place as that manage ticket link up here. But in this case, I'm kind of giving them the incentive to look up their referral link that they got in that email. So I'll leave that as well. And then for my additional info, I think I mentioned I'm gonna change this to my concert lineup. And this is linked to a page on my site. So say I had a concert lineup page link, I would insert that here. I don't have one copied. So that's going to now go to my concert lineup, say, you know, that I have already posted on my website, or maybe another link that I have to that lineup. If I wanted to add a section to this email, like in addition to what I kind of had already from the template, I could do that. I could do Steve's drag and drop thing to rearrange that. Say I do want a donate button, I can just add that here. This is going to be within this same concert lineup section. So I would, you know, edit my button text, add the link to the donate page. I'm going to delete it because I don't have that link either. So I think my email is ready to go. It's pretty simple. It tells people where to park, but that's kind of all they need to know for now. I can preview it like I showed, so I can see what it's going to look like. Again, these are replacement tags, so it's going to show their actual code or the actual link. And you can see that these buttons will actually work. So if I want to test my buttons to make sure they go to the right place, I can do that. Okay, looks good. So I'm going to click continue. Again, I can go back, I can change my subject line now that I've kind of, you know, made these changes if I wanted to. I'm just going to click review email, see my recipient list. Okay, it's sending to one person because I'm the only person who's bought a ticket to this block party so far. But this would give you your estimated recipients. So you can kind of check that to make sure, like, you know, if it's crazy off, like if yours says one, you might have an issue. And then I'm actually going to schedule this to go out the day before the event. So this is on October 4th of 2025. So I'm going to forget about this and get an email in like literally 3 years, but that'll be exciting for me. Okay, I think I'm ready to confirm my email. I will quickly point out this default placeholders is just for if somebody doesn't have a value for a placeholder. So like say you were using a custom list and you imported some information about donation data, but some people don't have a donation. Rather than, you know, using that tag and having it just kind of look ugly and empty for them, you could put in some kind of default placeholder that would replace that amount with like some other word or something. In this case, everybody's going to have this, right? Because I'm emailing this out to all my purchasers, so they all have both of these things. So I don't need to worry about it for this one. I'm just going to click confirm email, and it's been scheduled. So now I can go to my sent emails and see it there. Like I said, this is the first email I've sent out here, and it is scheduled to go out. So it says delivery has not yet started. And if I want to go in and look at it again, I can just click here to see it. Steve, anything else I should show in here while we're in the dashboard?
I think this is looking great. If you notice the red cancel button in case you decide, whoops,
I don't want to get an email in 3 years.
Yeah, right. Or maybe you want to restart it, you know, make some edits or things like that. That would be the opportunity to do that. So otherwise, I think you did a great job explaining. I always want to point out in anything on our platform that lovely help button that is right there on the right-hand side. So when you click on that, it takes you to our help site where you can look up articles and find other resources if you get stuck. But then you can also reach out to your account manager or info@givesignup.org to get additional support.
I'm not going to click the help button. I was going to, and then it would actually just have me set where it's going because I'm an admin, so can't demo that for you, but that's what that will do. Okay, going back into our slides, Steve's going to give you some homework like he loves to.
To better frame that, I enjoy when I am part of webinars like this, or I'm on the other side listening in, is I like to think about, all right, what am I doing with all of this great information that I just learned about? So the one thing that I wanted to, start you off with is, take this information, maybe you're the one representing your team, your organization, and let them know, what you learned, we're actually going to send out a recorded version. I think we mentioned that at the top of the webinar, so you can share that with your team members and they can watch this as well, or you can relive some of your favorite moments from today. But brainstorm with your folks and think about, what do you have coming up in your schedule? We're still in February. We're not quite in the swing of things, especially if all of your events are concentrated in the summer and in the fall, but how could you best use this? And take a look at what you're currently using and what are you spending? What are you paying for that service? And think about if this is an opportunity that works for you and that you can remove a budget line item, this would be maybe a great time to make that move before things get too busy into event season. But then go ahead and create a ticket event. So again, there's no cost, there's no subscription, there's no contract that commits you to a length of time or any sort of commitment to use our platform. So you could call it, Joanne's favorite event, and just Joanne can go to town and create this fictitious event so that you are learning as you're having fun and playing with the system of how it all works when you're going to actually employ it for a real world event that you're going to put on. Make sure you go back and enable those email and set up email account settings. So that is one step that you just need to make sure that you've enabled it and that you can play with the different addresses you want to use for reply to. So maybe your marketing team wants to get any emails that come back from a marketing email you've sent out, a promotional email, and then maybe your event director or your executive director wants to get all the transactional replies since it's really specific about information relevant to the event. And then go in and purchase some tickets. So you can add in coupons for 100% off. Go ahead through the ticket purchase flow so you can get some real data in there. And that way, when you've got ticket purchase information that you can use for your custom data replacement tags, when you insert them in the email builder, you can actually see that real information that is populating in there versus just the preview that's showing you the percentage assigns, which tag you're actually using. And you can also add manual tickets if you don't want to go through the purchase flow. You can just import them that way. And play, build in a custom list with some test data or maybe from some database that you have that you'd love to just, see how it's going to work as you import it, how you can rename the headers for each of the replacement tags so that it makes a lot of sense when you're writing your email. And send it to your team members. So use that kind of one-off where you can add a few emails or import a list of your 10 folks at your organization and collect feedback. I test is something I always recommend to our customers because you want to put yourself in the seat of your supporters or your ticket purchasers and imagine how they're going to be reading it. And the only way to do that is to test it and see how it feels and see if there's a missed opportunity where you can let them know about upcoming events or upcoming fundraising campaigns you've got for Giving Tuesday. I think those things get triggered when you put it out to different perspectives, different folks on your team that might be bringing a new view to this. And then, Elizabeth showed the template that she had already created. Go ahead and do that yourself and save. Practice using that template to create a new email, copy it and make a new one so that you're keeping that consistent branding. You can see how quick and easy that you're going to do it. And then you can rest assured that, when I bring my new person on who's not familiar with our brand kits, they don't even have to know that because all they're doing is using my template, and I can make sure that our folks are seeing the same messaging and the same style every time. So that's your homework. It's not too bad, right, Elizabeth? It's a
No,
good.
that's not too bad. It only took you like 2 minutes to talk through it.
And it takes less time to do what I just explained, right?
It really does.
Yeah, well, again, though, in all seriousness, though, I want you guys to know that, if you want to schedule a one-on-one session with myself or Elizabeth to go through kind of this process, we are happy to do that for you because we know that it is something I think that can be really powerful and helpful to a lot of groups out there. And it's also new. So, everybody's kind of getting familiar with it, and we want to be your help as you start using it the first time.
Yeah, we really do. It's really fun for us. We hope it's fun for you, but if it's not, we'll sit with you and hopefully make it fun.
Yes, and if you enjoy our banter and you'd like to invite both of us to it so that we can have sort of a trio show, we are open to that as well.
That might be a lot for people. I don't know if anyone wants that.
Okay. It's out there in case that's in your bucket. So all right, so we want to thank you guys for joining us today. We do have some questions though that I wanted to review. So I'm going to start up at the top here, and it looks like Tina started us off asking, you say free in quotes, how do you make money? So that is a very good question. So our model is based off of and what brings our revenue in is from processing fees. So and groups have the option, they have flexible options to either absorb those processing fee costs, so you can cover them. So let's say I set a ticket for $20, and rather than add on the processing fee to it, I'm just going to eat it out of those $20 so that my folks are just paying the 20 flat. Or again, you can just add it on. And I think that that is sort of a consumer expectation at this point, that there's going to be some sort of processing fee with a ticket transaction online. So I think people expect it. It's not a surprise, but you do have that flexible option on it. So that's how we make our money. Literally, there are no subscription fees. You can email Elizabeth as many times as you want.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Technically, you can.
And there are no subscription fees. You're not limited to 5 service calls a month. Any of that is removed. We want this to be nice and easy for you to try it out. And even when you stay with us, it remains free. So really encourage you to practice and see if it's going to work for you. Then Lenore's got a few questions. One was, does this integrate with Zoom webinar and events? So we don't have any integrations with Zoom at this time. It's always helpful to hear these kinds of questions, and you can always give us suggestions about how we can think about our product as we move forward and it matures, and other things that we can do with it. Lenore is also asking, do you sell the emails we upload to other business ventures? Great question.
Absolutely not.
Well, no, with those 17 exclamation points, Elizabeth. That's why when they're important. No, so your data is your data. We have no rights. I mean, certainly we have access to it as administrators to help you and support you as you're hosting your ticket events on our platform. But that is yours to keep private and secure. And certainly when things are going out, like automated notifications, like the confirmation email, hey, you purchased this ticket, it is going to say that it came from our company. But again, you can customize like who it's coming from, and you can customize the reply to address. And obviously it's all your branding. So we don't frame anything on our website builder or our email builder. You know, I think our name is at the very bottom of it. It's a very subtle, just letting people know what platform they use, because that is where the money actually transacted, is with us. But yeah, everything is very private. We really pride ourselves on protecting your security and your privacy and your data. All right, next question was, do I have to be a nonprofit to use your platform? The answer is not 17 exclamation points, no, but it's no with like a couple asterisks. And those couple asterisks is that we do have some products that are our fundraising campaigns and our donation forms. And so at this time, there is a check for a 501c3 verification for those. But in terms of our ticketing platform, our race registration platform, where our email and builder and website builder live, those are open. And it's a good question, because in the past with GiveSignup, where our ticketing product was, there was a requirement to be a nonprofit, but we recently opened that up, and a big initiative that's part of that is our new brand ticket sign up, so that it's open for everybody to use. But what's cool is that if you are a nonprofit, that was what we used it as our inspiration to build the platform. So we incorporated tools like being able to donate when you purchase a ticket in that ticket purchase flow. So we had nonprofits in mind when we built it from scratch. So it really caters to those needs. And then how easy is it to add alt text for images for screen readers? I think the answer to this one, Lenore, and help me, Elizabeth, I think is you would need to customize the HTML, which you can do within the email builder. Otherwise, there's not an automatic edit function for that alt text.
Yeah, you would have to do it in the HTML right now. I think in the future, we're going to do a couple things with images in the email builder and in the template builder. Like, the ability to like shape them a certain way. Right now, we just have like a cropper. But I think that's one of the things we would add. Like, you would click on the image after you've added it and like click edit, and you could add the alt text that way. But for now, you can do it using the HTML. Or if that's a little bit over your head, you could just put it like below in small text. You could put it below the image. There's a way to do that as well. So
That's a
whatever would be easier for you. Yeah.
And then Tina asked, will this integrate with my WordPress website? So we do not have an integration with WordPress. Again, like I mentioned with the comment or question about Zoom, certainly something to note for the future. And then Sarah asks, when using the text box, how can you use bullets within the text? So let's cover the other questions, see if we still have time because we're running out here. Okay. So Sarah, we may need to follow up with you and show you a quick demo of that. Marilee asks, how do you get into this program to get started? Another great question. So you can go to GiveSignup.org or TicketSignup.io and click on Get Started, and it will give you options of what kind of event you want to start. And one of those is a ticketed event, and it will walk you through our ticket wizard. So you don't have to go through and navigate through the menu to find out what you're supposed to add to get started. It will ask you all the basics and fundamentals so that you can get started. And I think here we go. Elizabeth is firing it up. Perfect. So that first one, create a ticket event, bam, there you go. It'll get you started.
You can also do it this way, ticket sign up and get started free. And it'll have you log in. I'm not logged in on this domain. So you'll create your account if you don't have one already, or you can use your GiveSignup or RunSignup login here. So don't be shy about this. This is the same platform. But yeah, whichever way, same wizard.
And so then Valerie asks, how do I figure out if I should do GiveSignup or TicketSignup? And that's a great question. So again, like Elizabeth just said, it's all one platform. It's the same product. I think that if you're interested in creating a standalone donation form or a standalone fundraising campaign, you would go to GiveSignup. We didn't really talk about that on this webinar, so that's not the product that we featured and showed you today. So if you're wanting to do everything you saw today, you can go to either one, GiveSignup.org or TicketSignup.io. And let's see, one last one here. How does this work for fiscal sponsorship as we wait for our NPO status? Okay, so Lenore, I think that's going to be a specific question that we'll follow up with you, one of our sales reps or Elizabeth or myself, and we can go into that in a little bit further detail. All right, I think we covered all the questions. If we didn't get to something or you think of something later, then and we got a couple more that are coming in here. We got a couple more minutes, Elizabeth. Let me see. Okay. Do you have someone who maintains a good email reputation? This helps. So
it's SendGrid is the provider that we use for emails. I think that's what they're asking.
Right.
And we've been using them on the registration platform that we've had for years. So yeah, it's great for deliverability.
All right, and we give little tips too as you're going through like your email subject line, as you're building it, telling you that don't do it like Steve does it, don't do so many exclamation points, limit the number of words you're using in your subject line. But I think that, using those replacement tags, which clearly brings in specific information for people, also helps cut through some filters to make sure that, it's getting to your folks because it's personalized. Using first name is such a simple and easy one and really helps with deliverability. All right, well, I think we covered everything there. Again, if not, we will follow with you specifically. Look for that email that has our recording, and good luck, have fun. Get out there and set up your ticket event, or if you already have one, go ahead and check out this tool. I promise you're gonna feel empowered and even inspired to get rolling with some communications and start bringing in those tickets. So, anything you wanted to add, Elizabeth?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for joining, everyone.
Yeah, we had fun, guys. We hope you did too. And I'm sure we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.